Hello, and welcome to our DogBizPro help video series. In this video, we will be explaining how to set up online registration for boarding. To start, you just want to navigate to your admin module by clicking on the module dropdown and selecting admin. Once you're inside your admin module, you would want to click on the Setup tab, Online Registration, and Configuration. Once you're inside of your online registration configuration page, you would want to scroll down until you find the Boarding Registration Settings section. Inside of this section, you should see a checkbox titled Allow Clients to Register for Boarding. If you wanted to turn online registration on for boarding, you would just want to make sure that this checkbox is checked. If that checkbox is unchecked, then that boarding tab will actually be removed from the client registration portal and clients will be unable to sign up for boarding online. So again, if you want to allow online registration, you would just want to make sure that this checkbox is checked. You should also be able to see a public registration tab text option showing inside of this section. This option determines what your boarding tab will show up as on the client registration portal. So if you didn't want that to actually say boarding and instead you wanted it to say, for example, boarding test, you can go ahead and make that change. Now, if a client was to view the client registration portal, instead of seeing boarding, they would actually see boarding test showing as an available tab. As a reminder, this is only a tab change and it will not change any of the hidden logic behind boarding and it won't change anything from the user point of view. As a reminder, any changes you make inside this section, you would just want to click Save in order to actually update those changes. Next, you can click on the Configure Boarding Registration Settings button in order to be brought to your boarding registration page. The first area that is showing inside of this page is the URL and code text boxes. These can be used to provide a direct link to your boarding page on the client registration portal. The code can be used in areas that support HTML like your existing website, autoresponders, etc. In all other areas you can just use the regular URL link. The section showing inside of this page is the Availability Settings section. This section allows you to set your hours of operation for each day of the week. This will only apply to boarding, so these times do not impact your other services. So, let's say you wanted to set up your hours for Monday from 9 to 5. All you would have to do is check the Monday checkbox. After you have chosen a day, you can actually click on the time picker icon in order to choose a list of times. So again, if I wanted this to be from 9 to 5, I could choose 9 a.m. from this list. And for the closing time, I could click on the time picker icon again, and this time choose 5 p.m. With what I have set up here, clients on the client registration portal could sign up on Mondays anywhere from 9 to 5 for boarding. And again, you could just repeat this process for any other days that you wanted to be open for. The next section showing inside of this page is the Other Settings section. The first option showing inside of this section is the Days Before to Close setting. This setting allows you to close boarding registration for any number of days before it is set to occur. For example, if you wanted to close registration on Sunday for your Monday availability, you could set this to 1. So again, because we have this set up to be available on Mondays, because I set this to 1, it would actually close registration for Mondays on that Sunday. So if a client attempted to register on Monday for that same Monday, they could not. Next is the Weeks Ahead to Allow setting. This setting will determine how many weeks in advance your client can schedule their boarding appointment. If you wanted clients to see 4 weeks in advance, you could leave this set to 4, or if you only wanted clients to be able to see 1 week in advance, you could change that from 4 to 1. So again, by me changing that to 1, clients can only schedule 1 week in advance for boarding appointments. The next area showing inside of this section is the Available Date Color setting. This setting allows you to change the color of your available days. When a client schedules a boarding appointment, they would see this color showing on the days you are available. So if you wanted to change your available color to, let's say, yellow, you could change that here. Now, whenever a client went to register for a boarding appointment, they would see those available days showing in yellow. The next area showing inside of this section is the Allow Clients to Enter Comments During Registration checkbox. This checkbox will make it so clients can leave a comment during their online registration process. If you didn't want clients to be able to leave a comment, you could actually leave this checkbox unchecked. Again, as a reminder, you would want to click the Save button in order to save any changes you make inside of this section. The last section showing inside of this page is the holiday/close schedule. This will allow you to mark specific dates in which you want to be closed. If you wanted to mark a date as closed, it will actually override your hours of availability. This means if you close a day that you are normally open, it would actually close it without you having to change your hours of availability up above. So again, let's say you wanted to be closed on Monday, May 29th. You could click on the date in question and it would actually put a gray box next to that date. As long as I saved my changes, it would actually mark that date as closed for me. If a client went to the client registration portal and attempted to sign up for boarding, that Monday, May 29th would actually be grayed out and they would not be able to select that date. Hopefully that helps and explains how to set up online registration for boarding.